Café Anyway. Horse hay. Jorge.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1379, 1379. I am your host, Mike Matthews. The podcast originating from Café Anyway. Located somewhere at the last place on earth in Podcastro Valley 10. Podcastro Valley 10 today is where we are. On a beautiful sunny day. Oh my gosh, and I'm looking out over towards Livermore, I think that is.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And there's this hillside, and they built these houses up there because they're building houses on everything in the
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Pleasanton, Dublin area. Oh hey, and it's shiny as can be. The houses on the hill, it must be a misery to live there because it gets so hot in this area. And then people grow up real dumb. And they're like too hot. It's reflecting light towards me.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, it's my ex-wife's birthday today, and she just texted me. What did she have to say?
Mike's
I sent her
Daily Podcast.
to her a little video of Basil the Boxer barking at a crane. And my ex-wife responded to me, thanks for the video. It's my birthday, y'all. Oh, look, it just walked in. Now, you might be wondering, Mike, why is that significant? It's my birthday, y'all. Well, when we lived in Huntsville, Alabama, 10 years ago, we met a wonderful woman by the name of Mecca Music. Look who else walked in. Why do people keep walking in when I'm trying to tell a damn story in this podcast? Feel much better. Got a little crazy there. Flew off the handle. My apologies. Oh, great.
And here's today's podcast picture.
All right, I gotta talk about the podcast picture. Frik. The podcast... and that's the name of today's show, Frik. It's, what is this? The Ventura County Fair. Nope, Alameda County Fair. I'm always going to say Ventura County Fair when I think of fairs. I spent so much time at the Ventura County Fair. My old job, K-Hay, the country station, where I worked for 11 years, they made me go to the fair. They made me sit in a little booth at the fair every day for 2 weeks straight. So nice. We didn't get paid extra for it either. Jerks. Stupid Cumulus. Well, it wasn't just Cumulus. It was... Who are all the people that owned us? McDonald Media, Dave Lowe and Bob Fox owned us. Now Dave Lowe, he has like a cruise ship company or some crazy thing. You know, it sucked. I had to go there, basically volunteer my time, and say hi to people at the fair. Hi. And people would come up and be... Who are you? Are you Ray and Charlie? And I'd be, no, I'm Matt Michaels, because I went by Matt Michaels back then. Where's Ray and Charlie? Well, Ray and Charlie were the morning show until Ray got really mad at someone one day and pushed them against the wall in the hallway. He got fired for that. And then John took over, and he was on that morning show for a long, long time. And he's doing well. His kids just graduated from high school. And I was there the day they were shooting for, what was that network? The network, I don't know, they've all changed. It might have been Bravo or something. It was a early documentary type show where they would follow a couple having a baby, getting pregnant, having the baby. Well, they didn't actually show the process of getting pregnant, but they showed about, hey, we're planning on getting pregnant. And then they're pregnant, or they are not pregnant. The woman is pregnant. Excuse me. I hate when they say they are pregnant. The woman is pregnant. She's the one going through all the misery. She's carrying this weight around. Her body's going through crazy hormonal things. No man would be able to deal with that, by the way. Just want you to know. Speaking as a man, I know. And I know a lot of guys that are anything, any change in the weather drives them nuts. Can you imagine their whole bodies just building a body inside of them? It's crazy. They would not be able to deal. Is all I'm saying. So there was a documentary that John was in with his wife, and I actually show up in the documentary during the baby shower, because I was invited to the baby shower, and I wore a big, stupid cowboy hat, and I had my big, stupid goatee, which I had for 25 years, and my big, stupid curly hair that was thinning away till it became nothing evermore. And they had a big party. I'm in this video. It was the baby story. TLC is what that's what it was on. So I was in that back when those kids were born. And then now they're grown up. They've graduated high school, and they're just the most adorable teenagers you've ever seen. So congrats to John. But I got sidetracked, didn't I? Oops. Well, it's my podcast, and I can get sidetracked if I would like. So, my ex-wife and I, back when we were married, 10 years ago in Huntsville, Alabama, we met the wonderful Mecca Music, and she was such a delight. This fiery redhead from Austin, Texas, and she took us under her wing. And she and her lovely husband, Brooks, who worked on a robot program for the U.S. government. Was I not supposed to say that out loud? Was that classified? Oops. No, I'm sure everybody's working on a robot program now. We're all into the guy right over there, over that hill, across the bay at Facebook, he's working on something. That guy at Amazon's working on something. That guy at Google's working on something. They're all working on stuff. Okay, maybe there's women involved in those projects as well, and I hope so. But Mecca Music was so lovely, so funny, and she said, hey, it's my birthday this weekend. You want to go with me? We're going to go see a band that I love, a local band, and it's going to be fun. And we got drunk, and we went to so many cool bands in so many cool places in Huntsville, Alabama, and we were so happy to have left California. And we were then living in the lovely state of Huntsville, Alabama. We could not have been more happy. At that moment, we were at the top of the peak during Mecca Music's birthday. And Mecca kept saying over and over again, "It's my birthday, y'all! It's my birthday, y'all!" And that is why my ex-wife, whose birthday it is today, sent me that. So that's funny, and I think that's great that we can still shoot back and forth old memories like that via text. It's a wonderful tip. By the way, I'd like to talk about predictive text for a moment. Back in the day, we had this thing called predictive text. I don't even know if is it still in our phones? Does my Samsung have it? Where I'm trying to type something? Yeah, I'll type something, and in the Samsung phone, it gives you 3 choices right above it. Like, are you trying to spell the word bleep? I almost said the bad word. Which, by the way, the morning show that I produce for the Bay Area with a certain financial guy, he said that's a bunch of bullshit. As in a ship that had a bull in it. I don't know. You make the call. And when he said it, he didn't really enunciate that P at the end. So I went and hit the dump button, which immediately subtracts 8 seconds from the airwaves. So what people are hearing all of a sudden jumps. And that whatever he said is gone. And I looked at him through the glass, and he saw me dump it, and he goes, "You didn't have to dump that." I said, "Bullshit." It's a tough job, my friend. Tough job. You have to read people. I'm such a good person reader. You would not believe the way I can read people. I need to parlay this into another job. I need to maybe become, I don't know, a fortune teller. Isn't that what they do? They take advantage of weak people and they read them, and then they're able to make these super high functioning assumptions about them. And then that person then becomes like, "Oh my God, you're seeing into the future. You really are mystical and magical." Ooh. The Magical Mystery Tour. My friend Mecca Music, and that was her real name. Her parents' last name was Music, and they decided to name her Mecca from the town of Austin, Texas. And I met her dad briefly, and I think I did. I feel like I did. I know for a fact I ate his deer jerky. He brought deer jerky to the station I was working at with Mecca Music, and it was delicious. Made with teriyaki sauce, and it just had this wondrous flavor. My friend Frik, we're going all over the place today, but I want you to know that we do have a wonderful segment coming up called What the Hell Is This Place Anyway? And because there's a lot of news today that makes you ask that question. Where are we? What is this place? And so we'll get to that. But if you'd like to help out the website... Oh, and I did get one more email from... So I have not been on Country Crossroads Radio now for a month. And I ended it actually at the end of May because I knew the station was going to go away in less than a month. And it required a lot of my time. And I don't know how much return I was getting on it. I did get a fan, Brian. He doesn't listen to the podcast, though. All he wants to listen to is country music and George Jones all day. And he's in Ontario, Canada. And he keeps emailing me every weekend because he started... I talked a little bit about him last week. Because he got so into the station on the weekend and into my show, and that was awesome. And he emailed me... He emails me yesterday, "Hey Mike, how are you doing?" And I wrote him back, "I'm doing fine. How are things in Ontario?" And I never heard back from him. But I think it's nice. We've got this friendship now that was created because of the wondrous free, I did it completely for free, the internet radio station Country Crossroads. And it was fun because I got to experience a lot of the music that I played on KHA during those 11 years that I was on. Plus, I got to play a lot of older stuff that I didn't get to play ever on the country radio station. And I started to play some new stuff and new bluegrass and Americana, and I just really enjoyed that. But it did take a lot of my time, and it's now gone. But I think you should, if you like heavy metal. I know I jumped from country to heavy metal, and fans of either of those genres don't exactly cross paths, but... there is the wonderful Metal Devastation Radio that Marco, who's been on this show before, he does a show Monday nights from 6 to 8. So check that out, and I wanted to give him a quick plug for that. All right, let's jump now to the segment called What the Hell Is This Place Anyway? And please check out the wonderful website, mikesdailypodcast.com, which features all of the past shows and has some of the past podcast pictures, and you can help out the show through the Amazon link. Click on that and buy whatever it is you're going to buy, and that helps us out, and a wonderful ray of light shines down on you and you feel good about yourself. There's also the PayPal if you'd like to help us out that way. There's a link to the Facebook page for the website. There's a Google Plus page. There's a Yelp page, an Instagram page, all kinds of pages that this website can be found. This show can be found on. But, of course, it's all there at mikesdailypodcast.com. If you do send us a PayPal, anything through PayPal, you will become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster and get a special greeting from all the Café Anyway characters, including some of the people that walked in that I completely did not acknowledge. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
And it's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player tell you
what?
I love 4th of July, and that it is coming up, and that our president is kicking the butt of CNN via a very humorously altered video that he posted on Twitter.
Good. Look who else is here.
Hi, Mike. I'm a delicious root beer. I'm the Brewmaster. Oh, have some root beer.
Thank you. I could sure go for some. This is very good. Mark, y'all look depressed. No, I'm just spent. I'm spent from the first part of that show. I don't have a counter now on my thing. What? We've been talking 15 minutes? What? All right. Let's get to the segment. Is that all right, Disgruntled Fiddle Player?
Y'all gonna talk about Trump?
Yeah.
You gonna be nice?
We'll see.
Okay. I'll be the judge of that.
All right, here we go with the segment called
I can't believe. What the hell is this place anyway?
President Whack Job Donald Trump posted a video to Twitter on Sunday that depicts him punching a physical representation of CNN in the face. He made CNN incarnate. He punched CNN in effigy, digitally, the latest escalation in his ongoing war against the news media, and one that raised the specter of actual violence.
Because you'd be in jail. He's a showboat. He's a grandstander.
This according to Time magazine. The video posted today is of an actual 2007 stage. 2007, just 10 years ago. What a simpler, more innocent place we lived in 2007, where we had the wonderful George W. Bush running our country. And so in this stage spectacle in a wrestling arena, Trump, then a reality TV star. I like how they wrote then a reality. He's still a reality TV star. Once a reality TV star, always a reality TV star. He brought WWE head Vince McMahon to the ground in their battle of the billionaires. Funny. And then McMahon's daughter has become a politician and involved in the Trump administration. But the video was edited with the CNN's logo imposed on McMahon's face. In the video, Trump spends about 10 seconds punching the opponent with the CNN logo before the now president walks away seemingly unscathed. Okay, so the way Time magazine wrote it, it says the specter of actual violence was raised with this video. Yeah, but as someone who dabbles in the world of comedy, you also know that is comedy, right? That is funny. It's not actually funny, but it has humorous intent. You can just see. It's not like he pulled out a knife and stabbed someone that had a CNN mask on or something. You know, it could have been a lot worse, basically, is what I'm saying. I know I make excuses for the president, but I see there's... First off, I will say, this is completely unnecessary, and no president, and Trump continues to take what we had as the presidency. And every time I say this, I kind of laugh at myself because I know what we've always laughed at the president. Okay? And if there's a president that you particularly like, you get upset when other people are laughing at him. Sure. But we always laugh at our president. It's what makes us Americans. We got out of frickin' England because of the king. The king was taxing us, and that whole thing. Did you know, by the way, that the Queen, now the Queen of England, makes $92 million a year? Isn't that insane? And she's actually going to get a raise so that she can do repair and such to the Buckingham Palace and do some improvements, renovations. Okay, so here's the thing. It's supposed to be funny. I get it. And that's the thing, is we have to, and I say thing. By a thing, I mean it is a thing, and what else can you say? But the video concludes with an image similar to CNN's logo, but with the acronym FNN, representing Fraud News Network, Trump's latest moniker for one of his most recent frequent media targets. Should the president be spending time on things that actually need to get done in America? Yes. Should our current president, stop belittling the office of the presidency? Yes. Is the office of the presidency already sort of a joke already, and it has been for for a while? Except for when we're in times of war, when we need to rally behind the president, and that's when people get upset at people like the Dixie Chicks for saying what they said about George W. Bush. Yes. Wait, what? I forgot what the question was there. But, hey, our president's creative. Our current president actually made this little video. Or he hired somebody and paid them practically nothing. I don't know. Thomas Bossert, a Homeland Security advisor to Trump, was asked about the tweet on the George Stephanopoulos show. My first reaction to that tweet would be the same as any of the president's tweets. There's a lot of cable news shows that reach directly into hundreds of thousands of viewers, and they're really not always fair to the president. Oh, yeah, I heard that clip. This guy sure got a lot of airtime. Bossert, geez, everybody's quoting him. And then Republican strategist Ana Navarro, who's a commentator on CNN, said, "It's an incitement to violence. He is going to get somebody killed in the media." Interesting way of looking at it. And so here's why is he still mad at CNN? I don't get it. CNN pulled the story that was being done about him. The people resigned. The people are gone. They're out of CNN now that we're going to do it. I don't get what the hell. Why is he still mad at CNN? And anyway, lawmakers are outraged about it. Here, I got sidetracked here. Let's jump over to this other story. Let's see. Tom Bossert. Okay, these stories. Nancy Pelosi. Violence and violent imagery to bully the press must be rejected. This hashtag July 4th, celebrate freedom of the press, guardians toward democracy. I'm behind that. Let's not criticize the press. And there's a wonderful show called On the Media, and they've been discussing this topic lately about demonizing the press. And it really comes down to what dictators do. Dictators shut down the press. As soon as they become dictator, they go, "Hey, you're the Washington Times or whatever they are, and yeah, okay, you're done. You're all out of here. If you don't stop, you're all going to get assassinated." That's what dictators do. So what Trump is doing is very similar. Would you not agree, even if you are a Trump supporter? Disgruntled Fiddle Player?
What? I'm sorry, I was distracted by something else.
You weren't listening. Representative Eric Swalwell says, "I am calling on every House GOP member to condemn this. You were elected to be a check on power. Check it or you condone it." He's our representative of Podcastro Valley. All right, well, you've probably heard enough about this. CNN, by the way, saying that it's juvenile behavior. Back to California, though. Governor Jerry Brown's plan to route much of California's mightiest river into two massive tunnels poses new perils for salmon and other struggling native species.
That's what I was distracted by, was some salmon swimming by Café Anyway.
Really? We got salmon? No, we don't. Why? How come I cannot get any fish in the Bay Area? I want to eat fish at a nice fish restaurant, and all the places I go to are too expensive. You get hardly any fish on your plate. I don't like it here in the Bay Area as far as fish goes. I was very disappointed. There are places like in Seattle. Seattle's the best, I think. I visited Seattle about 7 years ago, and there was salmon everywhere. People were giving us salmon. They were throwing it at our heads. I loved it. So, ultimately, water experts say whether Brown's two 35-mile tunnels hurt salmon, whales, and other imperiled species depends, as always, on the intent and smarts of the officials who manage the Sacramento River's delta, with the San Joaquin River that fought over overtapped spigot for the U.S. state with the most people, most crops, and the biggest estuary on the West Coast. Yes, that's what we got here in California. The giant tunnels will make it easier to ship water from California's wetter north to cities and farms in the San Francisco Bay and central and south, or as we say, southern California, even during droughts. This according to the Associated Press. Now, speaking of San Francisco, a thick layer of fog was draped over San Bruno this past Friday. Yes, it was foggy all over the bay, and yesterday too. Today it's nice and sunny, and I'm being blinded by the reflection of those new houses across the valley. But the fireworks stands set up in the parking lots of the shops at the Tanforan Mall boasts boxes with neon text screaming, "Dazzle the crowd, backyard barrage, peacock tail, phantom awestruck." With 4th of July happening very soon, businesses seemed slow at the stalls. But it won't stay that way for long, vendors say. People are always procrastinators, said one of the fireworks sellers for a local Rotary Club. Fireworks of all kinds are illegal in almost everywhere in the Bay Area, but like last night, I heard them and saw them all over. I've been seeing them actually since Thursday, maybe earlier. A few cities, San Bruno, Pacifica, Newark, Union City, Dublin, Sebastopol, Rohnert Park, Petaluma, and Cloverdale, allow the sale of safe and sane pyrotechnics, the kind that are neither projectiles nor explosives. Many of the groups hawking the fireworks do so to help law enforcement offset costs of the holiday or to support local do-good organizations. When I actually worked in this very spot that I'm at right here on the 4th of July, I think 3 years ago now, it was the best 4th of July ever. I didn't have to deal with parking. I didn't have to deal with the crazy traffic after a stupid fireworks show. I got to sit in the studio, look out the window, and right across, I saw fireworks, and these were all people's local fireworks going off all over Dublin, because I look out over Dublin, not Ireland. And they were going off and exploding, and it was beautiful. Everywhere, all over. Not just one spot, but all over, they're going off. It was crazy. And then I talked to someone who grew up in Dublin and said, oh yeah, that's how it always was growing up in Dublin. So that's what we have happening 4th of July in California. And speaking of which, drones have transformed the way we view fireworks. Outfitted with high-definition video cameras, the remote-controlled aircraft can capture spectacular footage of Independence Day shows from the air. And you can see this on YouTube. Manufacturers will produce nearly 3 million drones this year, with sales expected to exceed $6 billion. Many amateur pilots will attempt to fly their high-tech aircraft near local fireworks displays this holiday weekend, which raises some questions. Is it legal to fly a drone in the midst of a public firework display? Can you get permission to try it? And if you do get the go-ahead, how do you record the scene without losing your drone in a fiery crash? The drone law. According to an FAA spokesman, federal regulations don't specifically ban UAV pilots from flying in and around fireworks, but in an announcement on Friday, the agency recommended that operators shouldn't fly drones in or near fireworks. And FAA rules prohibit amateur drone pilots from flying over crowds of people in the dark and at heights exceeding 400 feet. The aircrafts must remain in the operator's line of sight at all times. Those restrictions alone would leave would-be aerial videographers grounded at most fireworks shows. This according to Consumer Reports. As we go outside a Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. I plan to do a podcast tomorrow and on the 4th of July. 4th of July show will be a little bit later on, but I plan to. We'll see. I may not be able to on the 4th of July, but if not, I certainly wish you a wonderful 4th of July. Hey, baby, it's the 4th of July. Guys, I would like to apologize to you for flying off the handle about you earlier. It's all right, Mike. We understand.
Yeah, we don't take it personally and such. I like salmon.
Mark, I made you some delicious root beer.
Root beer to go. Thank you, Brewmaster.
You're welcome. Over.
Mark, we gotta go back inside and finish our game of Boggle. Bye, it's my birthday, y'all. Oh, I didn't know it was Benita's birthday, too. Wow. What a surprise. Next show, it's going to be Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Yay! Thanks for listening. You're awesome!
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow.